Welcome back folks, my name is LastKnowMeal and today we're going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077, well more precisely about the news which recently surfaced. So for the first topic we have an article from altcar.com which says you won't have to finish the main story to complete Cyberpunk 2077. It sounds crazy, I know, but knowing CDPR, it might be possible. In this article they mention the interview with Paweł Sasko, the lead quest designer for the game, where he talks more about how the story is going to advance in the game in an interview on spidersweb.pl. Now this is what Paweł said. So in Cyberpunk structure we have the Sweet Spike, which serves as its center, the main storyline with different subplots surrounding it, which can be triggered in various ways. Those subplots allow us to do something that we have never done before. They change the main plot of the game, and they are doing that in such a way that you may not even finish the main plot, but still finish the game and get a completely different epilogue than the player with a different life path who made different choices, met different characters and formed relationships with them. So what is claimed to be happening here is that once you go into the game and you start doing missions, it might end even before you reach the end depending on your choices, which sounds unreal but amazing. Now definitely take this with a grain of salt before this has been further explained by the devs. Don't get hyped up too much until we learn more, but it does go hand in hand with their idea of you shaping the story as you like. Meaning your decisions influence the game. Your approach in this world bends the missions, in a sense depending on the characters you know, characters you keep alive or do something else, and all of the other things you do in it. Of course, the game will tell you once you have to make a very important decision that has been said by the devs. But to have something like this in an RPG, which is primarily a game based on story and characters, does sound amazing. It also pushes you to play the game multiple times so you can get a different ending in a sense. And they said long time ago that everyone will have, in a sense, their own adventure. Of course, there will be some similarities, but there are so many ways the story can branch out, which sounds like a lot of fun if implemented correctly. There were some games in the past that tried this, but to have a scenario where potentially the game might end, sooner than the main plot does, sounds intriguing. I mean, for some people it sounds scary, but at the same time, it does sound good, because it will all depend on your choices. In the other news, in the most recent interview with the Edge magazine, level designer for the game Max Pierce talks more about their game decisions and ideas. He was asked this: how does open quest design affect level design? When there are so many ways to approach any given mission, how does that change the way you design a play space? It's one of the most freeing projects I worked on in terms of just pure creativity, but also definitely an overwhelming one when you think about looking at a blank screen. But that fluidity of choice, whether that can be your cyberware, your abilities, your perks, your guns, how you play, all of these really open up the space for us. So we're thinking about how all of these intertwine, because sometimes you're not going to just stick to one playstyle either. Really thinking about how we adapt the levels to give you that choice has been one of the biggest challenges for us as level designers, and also one of the most rewarding. It all comes down to constantly testing, playing it through in as many ways as we can, and seeing how it plays out. Then he was asked about the world building process, how it differs from The Witcher 3. It's definitely very different when you think about The Witcher and the different kind of places you can visit like Skellige or Novigrad, while here everything takes place within Night City. For us, it's about making sure that each kind of sub-district has its own vibe, and also understanding how city is built. Last year we showed you Pacifica and how that is desolate compared to Watson, and that's because cities need funding, and due to corruption and other factors, funding for that part of the city stopped. So it elements like that, and also how a city layers itself because it's such a dense place. It's not going to spread out compared to The Witcher, it's about building up. as I'm sure you'll have noticed when you're driving through the Night City, you have all of these different roads and buildings and alleys piled on top of one another. We definitely look around for architecture experience. We have urban planners who help us plan the city and how it should feel like a real city, as well as allowing those gameplay opportunities. Then of course there was a question about competition with other games because it's open world, and this is what Nax said. Definitely, I mean there is no bad blood or ill will towards any other studio or any other games, because everyone in this industry moves the medium forward together, but especially coming from The Witcher 3, which has been a huge success with such a great world that people spent hours exploring, it's very much a competition and a different understanding within ourselves as a team. We've set the benchmark already in one previous game, and we're trying to always do the same. So it's about always going through and trying to make things better, but it's also understanding that there is a difference and asking how we push those differences to being a benefit. But yeah, we're always trying to make genre-defining and groundbreaking games. Now look, all of this sounds great. They're definitely trying to bring something new to the table, and of course, hopefully they succeed in the end. We still have 4 months until the game comes out. Right now we're just waiting for the second episode of Night City Wire, which might happen in August, but this is just my speculation so far. We don't have the exact release date of the second episode of that event. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click that like and subscribe button for more Cyberpunk videos, and join our growing community on Twitter and Discord. I do want to hear your thoughts on this, so write me down below in the comments what you think about this game so far. I also made a Patreon page. If you were looking for an extra way to support the channel, you can do it there as well, and huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.